even though I've written hundreds of songs, Like a Baby was actually one of the newer ones. It's very fresh. It's only about a month old, and it's just pretty much chronicles everything that I'm about, everything that's on my heart, and how I want people to see um, my music and my record label and all things. So, Like a Baby is I'm just speaking of the self-given title that God has given Himself as Father. And once we really understand what that means, you can really start to, you know, build platforms upon that relationship with God Himself. So not only does God calls us His children, but He says, you know, statements like we have to be born again, which is an ode to a baby being born. Or He says the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a child. So all these things just speaks of, you know, one thing I love about God is his personal interaction with humanity, and He's a father figure. So I just wanted to give my interpretation of certain and specific Bible verses that speaks of God's relation with humanity, and hopefully give clarity on, you know, those things that we're allowed to say, and also the things that we're not allowed to say or think of ourselves. You know, one thing I realize on this earth is that as a man, there's not really too much we can submit to. You know, we might submit to our bosses or um, a slave master, but it's never really in the spirit of vulnerability, you know? So I think really the only person on this earth that we have opportunity to do that with is either our father or certain father figures in our lives. And so how much more has God ordained that we, with the spirit of meekness, humility, and full vulnerability, come to Him with all our pains, worries, and praise and worship at the same time, you know, not leaving out or neglecting the fear and the reverence aspect. So Like a Baby just pretty much chronicles my personal walk with God, and is very transparent, open, and says everything about from the time that I was born again like a baby at the age of 12 years old all the way up until now the age of 28. It's been a journey, but like you know, God has definitely been a father to me and will continue to do so. So I hope it encourages somebody and causes some type of yearning for the Father in their lives as well. So working with Lindsay was crazy, just for the simple fact that it's somebody that I never even met before in my life. And I think that's just the power of the internet today. But it's crazy. I heard her voice on the internet, and I really liked what I heard. It was you know, unique, and it was special to me. So I sent her a message of the song that I wrote. I wrote out everything and sent her a little demo as well as the lyrics. I asked her, can she feature on the song? And you know, to my surprise, she was all for it. And what's crazy about that interaction was it became even more special because she had told me she had just became a born again believer, a born again Christian within the last 2 months. So she had transitioned into from, you know, secular music to now she only does Christian music and only works with Christian artists. So that was just, you know, pretty much the icing on the cake. About a day later, she sent back her demo of the demo that I sent her, and it was crazy because when I sent it, I gave her no type of musical creativity because I'm very, very picky when it comes to my music. I want it to sound a certain way, it's a certain sound I have in my head. So there was very little leeway for her, and you know, thank God she didn't really listen to what I said, because as you can hear in the song, her creativity is just mind-blowing. She took it, made it her own, and you know, the final result speaks for itself, man. It's crazy. Oh, fun fact, it was even more special because she had just gotten married the same week that I sent her the demo. So in the midst of her trying to rearrange things for her wedding and planning, you know how the bridezillas are, she made time. She set aside time to work on a song for me. So, you know, just for that alone, I just pray that God continues to bless her, her marriage, her family, and every other future endeavor she has with her music or career or whatever the case may be. And I think, you know, it's a connection that we always have just because of that. And so, thank you, Lindsay. You rock. I've been making music since I was 13 years old, so it's been a long time coming. But, you know, even though I've had hundreds of songs that I've written, I don't consider myself an artist at all, at least not a musical artist. And I'm very blessed because I was never driven by financial success, or I was never career driven to make this into, you know, something bigger. So I think because of that, I was able to, you know, take my time with it and let it happen how it's happening now. So Like a Baby being my first single, I do plan on releasing the first EP between Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So be on the lookout for that as well. It's going to be special. The title is coming soon, the album artwork, and all that good stuff. But even beyond that, I'm more so interested now in doing shows. I really want to do shows. I really want to do just public events, you know, show-ups, pop-ups, whatever the case may be. And more than anything, I just want to reveal to the people what's on my heart. And, you know, very little of that has to do with music. But, you know, music, of course, will be the tool that I use to get that message out. That's just how it works. When God bless you with certain gifts, you use every tool at your disposal to make sure that, you know, all you have to do is turn to any news station, any media outlet, and you will see that, you know, we all in trouble right now, where the world is. And so my message is more about a message of hope, more so a message of love. I don't want to sound cliche, but the fullness of love, which is to me entrenched in and embodied in the person of Jesus Christ. And whatever I have to do to make that digestible to the palate, I'll do it. But I think the time is now. So you'll be seeing a lot more of me in the future.
To the bosom of the Abba Father, comfort my pain. Like a baby, hold me like a baby, oh God.